Well, it's that time of year again, kids. Time for Christmas lights, hot chocolate, and sitting down by the fire to enjoy your favorite Christmas movie. Or you could watch a movie featuring an aging action star who is past his prime and is desperately trying to transition into family films.
I'm not a pervert!
Do you love heavy-handed messages about consumerism?
Yes!
Well, then I've got a movie made just for you. Time to sit on Santa's lap, kids, as we take a spoiler-heavy look at Jingle All The Way.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
So Jingle All The Way starts like any great Christmas movie, with parental neglect. You see, this is Howard, and because he loves working at a mattress store, he's missed his son's purple belt karate class. Later that night, his wife Liz, played by Rita Wilson, who is most famous for giving birth to this person,
it's about to be a white boy summer,
tells Howard that their son Jamie is very upset. And as Howard tries to apologize, Jamie storms off to his bedroom.
Don't walk away from your father!
Good.
Then Howard does something slightly racist. And does what any good father would do, tries to buy his son's love with the promise of a toy. And there's only one toy that Jamie wants this year.
Not the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move and the boomerang suitor.
Okay, we get it. Calm down. Anyway, the next day, Christmas Eve, Howard goes shopping, and while waiting for a store to open, meets Myron, a mailman who has obvious anger issues and who might be an InfoWars Patreon subscriber.
And they sit there and use subliminal messages to suck your children's minds out. Chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
When the store finally opens, they race to where the Turbo Man toys are located, but sadly, they're all sold out. Then the entire store has a good laugh and mocks Howard and Myron to their faces. But hey, it's nothing physical violence can't fix.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
I want to punch you in the face so bad right now.
Howard and Myron then run after an old woman who purchased the last Turbo Man just a few minutes ago, and Myron quickly gets the upper hand. But Howard is able to stop him by tripping him with a remote control car, causing him to fall on the hard store floor, fracturing his skull, and making him disabled for the rest of his life.
Oh, God, I can't feel my leg!
Sadly, after looking all morning, Howard is unable to find a Turbo Man, and he calls his home to check in with Liz. Not long after this, he runs into Myron again, who suggests to Howard that they team up so that they can find a Turbo Man together. But Howard declines, which causes Myron to make a Twitter post about it.
Racism!
The two of them then hear that a toy store in the mall has gotten a last-minute delivery of Turbo Man toys. And once they arrive at the store, they discover that there is only a small amount available, and the prices will be double the normal amount. In order to determine who will get the toys, the store is passing out rubber balls with numbers on them. But sadly, the crowd gets out of control, causing Howard to take some balls to the face. Howard then meets a mall Santa, who is played by the Belushi brother that everyone wishes had actually died, and he tells Howard that he knows where he can get a Turbo Man. Then this happens for some reason.
He hasn't got the daddy!
And then a fight breaks out, and then things become oddly sexual.
I'm gonna deck your halls.
But before this romance can go any further, the police show up and start arresting Santa Clauses. Back at Howard's house, the neighbor Ted is showing off his pet reindeer, which makes this woman incredibly horny for some reason.
I wish every husband were more like you.
And when Howard calls his house to check in again, he accidentally hurts Jamie's feelings in a moment of aggravation.
Ever!
Let the hate flow through you.
A moment later, Howard runs into Myron again, and the two of them hear that a radio station is doing a call-in contest for a Turbo Man. And after breaking the phone, they decide to do what any rational people would do and run to the radio station to get the toy for themselves. Anyway, once they get to the radio station, they get into a fight, and after the cops are called, things start to look bad for our two desperate dads. But don't worry, this isn't anything that a little domestic terrorism can't fix.
Just a sick world we're living in. Sick people.
Tired and out of ideas, Howard goes back home. But when he gets there, he sees the neighbor Ted in his house, decorating his Christmas tree.
And he's in my house, putting up my star.
Wait, why does this seem so familiar?
And he's in my house, putting up my star.
Eating my birthday cake with my family.
Oh well, Howard then breaks into Ted's home so that he can steal the Turbo Man that's under his Christmas tree. But after committing a hate crime against this wise man and setting Ted's house on fire, decides that it's a bad idea. Then he punches a deer.
Ultimate punch!
Angry with himself, he finally decides to go meet his family at the Christmas parade. And while running from the cops again, he's accidentally mistaken for someone else and put in the parade as Turbo Man. He is then told that he has to pick a child from the crowd so that they can win a special Turbo Man action figure. So naturally, he says, "Jamie!" and gives Jamie the toy. Then Myron shows up again and tries to take the toy from Jamie, eventually chasing him to the top of a building. Luckily for Jamie, Howard's Turbo Man suit comes with a working jetpack for some reason, and because jetpacks are super easy to fly, Howard is able to rescue Jamie before he falls. Then he reveals to Jamie that he is Turbo Man, and they live happily ever after. The end. The movie's over. If only there was some way to express my happiness. There we go. To be honest with you, I've never been a fan of this movie. Even at the ripe old age of 11, when this movie came out, I thought it was pretty bad. But this time around, I was surprised at how tedious it feels. Despite obviously a lot of stuff happening, the hour-and-a-half runtime of the movie feels like it's taking forever. And I think it's because there isn't enough story to carry a full movie. Let me explain. You see, the movie is essentially this. Howard can't find a Turbo Man. While trying to find one, he runs into Myron. The two of them talk. Then, when they discover a way to get a Turbo Man, they fight each other, which causes a great bit of nonsense to happen, preventing them both from getting a Turbo Man. And that sequence of events just repeats itself, so the story literally goes nowhere. Also, I kept asking myself, who is this movie for? It would seem that it's made for smaller children, but I'm certain that no young kids were clamoring for an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie at the time, and the heavy-handed messages of commercialism wouldn't appeal to them at all. And the adult fans of Arnold Schwarzenegger aren't going to care about all of this nonsense. They want to see this from Arnold.
Get to the chopper!
Not this. So again, who is this movie supposed to appeal to?
I don't know.
So at the end of the day, would I recommend this movie? No, there's a ton of Christmas movies out there, all of which are better on pretty much every level than this. Now, I do understand that there is a nostalgia-based fandom for this movie, and that's fine, but for me, there's just nothing to really enjoy about this movie at all. Well, except for this.
Put that cookie down!
Well, that's it for this one, folks. Have you seen Jingle All The Way? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below and let me know. As always, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.